First of all, the Broncos like him. There's a reason he went in the second round. If the Broncos hadn't taken him, somebody would have taken him very soon. So this is a legitimate NFL talent. And I would think as a young player, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but as a young player when you know that your role is going to be part-time, I think it's difficult. You're already fighting a lot of things as a rookie, but trying to stay ready, trying to handle a part-time role probably isn't the easiest thing. So if JK Dobbins can't play on Sunday and you know going in all weekend long that you're going to be the guy, I think that frees a rookie up to go out and play his best football. So that's why I'm intrigued. That's why I'm cautiously optimistic about what we'll get from RJ Harvey on Sunday. How about that? Go ahead, tear it apart, Zink. Go ahead.
No, I mean, they tried early in camp because they were very conscientious about trying to keep Dobbins healthy because of his injury history. They tried to give it to RJ Harvey. I mean, he got the majority of the lion's share of the carries in camp, and he just missed a lot of things. And that's pretty typical when you go from a college program to a professional program. You got to learn how to run in the NFL. So, like, he wasn't ready. I'm sure he's learned a lot by, not only the carries he's gotten, but just through osmosis of watching another guy do it that's truly a professional NFL running back. And so I'm excited to see what he does. I'm excited to see what he does with this opportunity. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say, man, I'm really bullish on RJ Harvey. I think he's going to explode this weekend. I hope he does. And I hope he's learned some valuable lessons watching the veteran play in front of him. And I'm excited to see him get 15, 16, 17 carries and see what that looks like because he's an explosive player.
Yeah, I think he makes sense on one thing, Mike. But the other thing, it doesn't make sense. When you talk about where a guy gets drafted, that doesn't mean he's going to be successful. That doesn't mean second-round pick doesn't mean he's a good player. You might have swung and whiffed on this guy. So, but I do think a young football player now especially going into week 11, knowing that he's going to be the guy and get more carries and things have slowed down for him a little bit more. We might see a better RJ Harvey than we did 7-8 weeks ago. Plus, on top of all that, he's going to get more than, 4 or 5 carries, which I think as a young player, sometimes when you're the backup and you're only getting 4 or 5 carries, well, every one you want to be a great carry because I got to make it count. I might not get another carry, so I need this to be a 10-yard gain rather than saying, 4-yard gain is great. Let me just get this 4-yard gain. I don't have to bounce it outside and hit a home run every play. So I think it also is a different approach when you know that you're getting more opportunities.
But I think also when you look at some of these rookie running backs, I think teams look at these running backs as, hey, we like them a lot, but we recognize that there is a learning curve when it comes to coming into the pros. I mean, look at what the Chargers did with Omarion Hampton. They drafted him in the first round, but they still already had Najee Harris ready to go to be the guy at first while Hampton got caught up to speed. You look at New England. TreVeyon Henderson now has gotten a lot of chances, but he was sitting and waiting for the first 6, 7, 8 weeks behind some veteran running backs. And so you're seeing it the same here with RJ Harvey. So the only rookie running back that got thrown right into it, and that was because they had no choice and what they have to lose, was Ashton Genty.
Yeah, you know what? There is that aspect to it, Mike, of what does a guy do? What is he coming out of college? What does he do? Who is he going to be in the NFL? I just always look at, man, there's such a transition, Stoke, from college football to professional football, and you just don't know what a guy is going to be until a guy gets the opportunity to be that. And it is one of those things where it's a completely different game. And I don't think enough people understand how different the NFL is from college football. And I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see what he does. But I'm with Stoke. Like, hey, man, 4-yard runs. You got to fall in love in the NFL with 4-yard runs. You got to fall in love with, like, dirty yardage. You got to fall in love with that stuff. And if you do, eventually those become bigger games. Eventually you'll find a breakout in there. But you can't make everything be like, you just can't make everything be a 10, 12-yard breakout. It doesn't work that way.
Well, I think the running back position in general, whether you're talking about a young guy or a veteran guy or whatever team you're talking about, if they drafted a guy, you're gonna need a couple of them, right? And so I think with the way that the NFL is going, you're not seeing just the one running back and he's our guy. You're going to be rotating, especially with a young guy back there. You're going to look for a veteran presence, and that's what a lot of these teams are doing. And so I think that's obviously was the situation here. But certainly, hopefully with more carries, we see a guy that we can maybe say, all right, look what he can do when he gets more opportunities. I'm also interested and intrigued with Bidet and seeing if he gets the ball more. I know you can tell Sean really likes him and his potential, but all of a sudden you're behind a veteran guy that's playing great. You're behind a second-round draft pick at that position, so you're not going to get a lot of opportunities running the football. This might be one of those games where he gets a few more opportunities.